Right, so I'd just like to introduce you to Oliver Ash. I've forgotten the name of the company. What was the name?
Link 11.
Link 11, yes, like kind of a bit of a new entrant into the UK. And he's going to do a talk on anti-DDoS, right? Interesting. Right, so please welcome Oliver.
As he said, I'm Oliver, working for Link 11. So first of all, sorry for the delay. This is happening when you try to switch to Microsoft products instead of Apple products, because Apple products don't work at all the customers. So it doesn't work in these events anymore. So I flew over from Germany. I'm not a native speaker. So first of all, sorry if something is wrong to be part of this event. Actually, I like it. I have learned about artificial intelligence to replace DJs. We are using artificial intelligence to protect against DDoS attacks. I've learned about DDoS in 2016 against DNS service providers, which is something we have been part of as well on the protecting side. It was Mirai, if I remember correctly, attacking DNS, and things like Netflix and so on went down because they were badly protected. So very interesting event. I learned about .NET Core. I went to an exhibition lately, and in that building, when I left the building, close to every screen had error messages. The first thing I realized was when I get out, there was something like the weather forecast, and it was Shanghai 404 city not found. And I was confused, what happened? I went there for 2 hours, and Shanghai is not found anymore. And in little letters, see console log for details. Very nice. But let me talk about anti-DDoS, or better, about why hardware will not help you to solve the problem. So, first of all, let me ask a few questions. Whom of you have ever experienced DDoS attacks against his, employer, personally or whatever? Okay, some of you know already. Very good. You have solutions in place to protect against them or not? Physical appliances or cloud-based services? A mix, which is better than physical appliances. So what am I doing all the day? So the DDoS risk is increasing based on all the statistics we see, and this is what we do every day. So we see big infrastructures, big data centers, DNS infrastructures, web applications getting flooded every day. They slow down, they are not available anymore for the customers, and actually people will lose money. Like Mariah Carey, they will not sell any CDs anymore. I'm sorry for this. So the statistics we are having, so we have a few thousand customers, and we handle 12K of attacks every quarter, which is roughly, I think, 130 every hour. I'm not doing that myself. This is why we use artificial intelligence. This is just too much. So what we have seen is basically, in total, we are handling now Q2 2017, 2,000 attack hours. So our service is close to all the time online and protecting against attacks. So single attacks can take very long, up to, 10 hours. And they can come up to a speed of 81 gigabit without any problem. It's easy. They do something like DNS reflection attacks with amplification. They send specially crafted packets, spoofing source IPs to DNS servers. The question is very small. The answer is very large, and the target will get hit by a huge amount of traffic, and they are basically taking offline because it's just too much for the internet pipe to handle. So the average size of attacks is already 1.3 gig, which is too much for most of my customers' internet access, because they have links like 1 gig, and they expect legitimate traffic around 500 megabit, 600 megabit, and everything else for them is something they cannot handle themselves. The attack landscape is actually changing very rapidly. Last year, we have seen IoT botnets. Mirai was an example. So poorly programmed IP cameras got hacked because they use default user credentials with passwords, because they are built cheap. They need to run quickly. And so they are, of course, getting hijacked by bad guys, and they will be part of a botnet very quickly. Funnily enough, we even see a lot of server-based botnets. So AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. People are renting servers there or hijacking them to do attacks. And Using them, you have a lot of firepower actually, because they are well connected to the internet. They have high-end cores. You can do whatever you want, and you can bump your target away easily. You can basically start very complex attacks. We have volunteer botnets. Everyone knows Anonymous, if I'm not wrong. They give you the tools for free to attack your target, just because you think now it's the right time to attack the banks, to attack whatever, because you think you're part of something great and you want to, show them this is not the way to go. So we attack them together. I don't care, my IP address will be visible and so on. This is not legal, but I want to be part of it. You have these ransom groups, Stealth Raven or DD4BC and so on, trying to get Bitcoins and telling you, we will take you off the network. Look at this, next Friday, we will have a small attack, it's 5 minutes, and we will show you we have the power to do so. And if you don't pay, 7 days after that, you're offline. This is what our customers have to fight with every day. I used to work for hardware vendors selling appliances to protect against DDoS attacks. And this was my daily business. Customers approached me trying to get a DDoS solution. They told me, we have a 10 gig internet link, we expect 600 megabits of traffic, we look for a solution. So we did the sizing, they had to buy an appliance. So we sold them the 10 gig appliance, but limited to a lower amount of traffic, because then it's slightly cheaper. It's not 800K, it's just 400K. We're nice guys. And later on, you can upgrade your licenses and so on. So then we send them on trainings. We integrate the hardware into their data centers. This takes a while. We send professional service. We define procedures. What happens if there's an attack? Customer needs to call us. Customer doesn't need to call us. They have the knowledge to do it themselves. They train their operators. And finally, they think they have a DDoS solution implemented. This is basically what it is. Then they see the first attack, first day, second day, after a week. It's a small one, and the solution works perfectly. They're happy, and they think that's it. Done deal. No, because in nowadays, very soon a bigger attack will hit you. Then the hardware vendor will come up to you. This is not a problem because you bought the 10 gig appliance anyhow, because you have a 10 gig link. We limited it to 1 gig of legitimate traffic, but actually it's able to handle 10 gig. So buy the upgrade of the license to, 6 gig, and you can handle 5 gig attacks perfectly. They do so, they spend money with it, and they feel safe again until, release updates. What do they discover? It's the live production environment. They bought 2 of these boxes. They are not really redundant because they cannot sync their memory and all that kind of stuff. So they're running in some kind of active, and nobody, and one side doesn't know what the other does. So what do? They do planned failovers to one side. They do a maintenance window for the side which is not handling the traffic right now. They will verify the new release is working. If it's working, they will have another night shift the next day, the next week. They will update the second box. And after, hours of sleepless nights, they have the redundant setup up and running again. And they feel good, except that there's a new major feature in there. And they need to send the guys on the training again because they don't know how to configure it, how it works, and how to use it, and what to expect from it. So looking at all this, for me, after doing that 5 years, I thought this is not the way I want to earn my money anymore. This is like, cheating customers. It's like, getting in their pockets and getting the money out like every day. And then at the end of the story, you have that great hardware in place. It's able to scale up to 10 gig. And then one of these DNS amplification attacks will hit you, and it's 60 gig, it's 80 gig, and they're just offline. And now the vendor comes in, I'm sorry, hardware doesn't go to these areas. You have to buy something else to help you because you cannot protect your internet pipe with a device which is behind the pipe. It doesn't work. If you throw it away behind it, the pipe is full anyhow. So your solution is not sufficient anymore. Sorry, you just wasted $1 million or $1.5 million of money in a solution which doesn't scale. But we have the new appliance, which is able to, 10 gig, 60 gig, 80 gig, and they're just offline. And now the vendor comes in, I'm sorry, hardware doesn't go to these areas. You have to buy something else to help you because you cannot protect your internet pipe with a device which is behind the pipe. It doesn't work. If you throw it away behind it, the pipe is full anyhow. So your solution is not sufficient anymore. Sorry, you just wasted $1 million or $1.5 million of money in a solution which doesn't scale. But we have the new appliance, which is able to cope with 100 gig. Price tag is just 1.2 billion. We give you a good discount, 40%. What did I do to solve this from my personal, freedom? I went to a cloud-based security provider offering DDoS protection, DNS services, CDN, web application firewalling, and all that kind of stuff. And it's actually very simple. Whatever you come with, we will just put a cloud-based solution in front of it. For the technicians, it's BGP or DNS to divert the traffic to us. And then you get your training. And the only thing which might happen is you might have to upgrade your license because you have more legitimate traffic than you actually booked with us. And that's it. It doesn't matter if the attack is 80 gig, 120, 200, 500 gig. We don't care. We do everything in our cloud-based service. So we ensure the software is up to date. We ensure that there are no vulnerabilities. We ensure that we scale our solution depending on the amount of customers and traffic we have to handle. We ensure we can handle attack sizes which occur right now because they are actually common attack sizes. And you can go up to terabits if you want. Done deal. And since that, I have more free time to play with funny attack tools and so on and to basically analyze them. And looking at this event, next time I should do something like this because it fits more to this audience. That's it if I'm not wrong.